Shalom Bahashim Yahweh Kodesh Israel. This is the Tribal Minister Prince Charles Landine Ben Ami Mortazar Yam Ben Yasha Allah Senior, the mighty Hebrew. I give all praise and honor to Yahweh, the supreme, intelligent, powerful one of our forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, those striving for righteousness' sake all over the planet Earth. I say into the family, Shalom Aleichem. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be here. I know y'all hear the young prince. You know what I'm saying? He up here grubbing like a mug. So yeah, let's get straight to the point. Yeah, it's been a minute since y'all seen me. But I've been like just in the background, just, you know, dealing with the mishpachah, you know, family man, just chilling. So lately I just been listening to different lectures and debates on YouTube. So I was listening to this Jeremiah Judah verse Yirmiyah from Oklahoma. I was listening to the debate about the 10 tribes of Israel coming over here into the Americas. But before I start, let me invite some people because I was asked to invite people. So let me invite everybody real fast. Well, I can't invite everybody. That's next to impossible. But let me go ahead and just get the people together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a foundation of the argument. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Much respect to both opponents, Jeremiah Judah and Yirmiyah. You know, when people discuss matters as a debate and who won, people actually, you know, they usually start by explaining what they seen with both opponents and then at the end say who won. I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to say who won and then explain my position. My position is that Jeremiah Judah won. And I'm going to explain why he won. Now, a lot of people don't know that I was one of the judges that was picked as a judge by the way of Elder QANATH from F.O.P.E. So I had to work. So while I was working swing shift, I was trying to get on the live, even to Harker Bay. Give a shout out to Harker Bay, Morris World TV. He sent me the link. And I was trying to come on, but my connection, because I work in a warehouse. So sometimes the connection, it messes up, you know, from connecting. You know what I'm saying, babe? So it messes it up. So I was trying to come on the show. Now, I was listening because I heard Jeremiah Judah telling Harker Bay, like, yeah, you know, bring the mighty Hebrew on. But I think it was so much confusion that took place. Jeremiah Judah was like, forget it. But I'm going to say this. If I would have been there, Jeremiah Judah would have won that. Not because we Hebrews and we both acknowledge, you know, that the original 12 sons of Yaakov, Jacob, were of Negroid descent. It's because if we talk in academia scholarship, because that's what everybody tries to convey, even though those that understand, such as us Hebrew Israelite Sovereign Nationals, we don't let academic scholarship and box us. We use the ancient archaic symbols and archaic records of ancient nations, or what we call Hebrew anthropogenesis, to tell the story. So y'all all know that I acknowledge that Jeremiah Judah won. When you look at the title of the flyer, because I've been watching, originally there was a flyer up originally, because from my understanding, Jeremiah Judah wanted to debate the 12 tribe chart. Okay, so there was a original poster up there. Then there was a procrastination from the other side, the opponent, much respect to Yirmiyah, but he wasn't sure if he was going to do the debate. Then I remember Elder QANATH, if my memory stands correct, that he put up a video reminding Yirmiyah of his word and what he needed to do in this debate. Now I'm speaking from an OG Israelite perspective. I'm not taking no sides. I'm gonna give y'all a few primary sources and some facts to prove without a shadow of doubt Jeremiah and Judah won this debate, hands down. Okay? This has nothing to do with and I even talked to Tahaka Bay. And when me and Tahaka Bay had our conversation, and after I finished explaining it, even Tahaka Bay agreed, like, when you look at the scholarship, Jeremiah Judah gave the image of scholarship. And if this is what y'all talking about, scholarship, not opinionated views, which I'm going to prove, opinionated views and calling them primary sources. Jeremiah Judah was enforcing primary sources. I'm going to show y'all. Not just by historic, but we talking about eyewitnesses. See, this is the whole thing. We talking eyewitnesses, okay? Because we have to stop incorporating other nations into our play, so to say. Okay? Everybody is not Israel. That's just period. Simple and plain. Okay? Most so-called Hispanics and most so-called Native Americans are not Israel. They're not. If you need to pass them to me, you can. Okay. He's cool for now? Yeah. Okay.
Look, he's holding his bottle.
Yeah. Ooh. He's holding his bottle. Look at him. Yeah, y'all know I just had a newborn, so I'm all in my Abba mode, real heavy. So getting back to what I'm saying, let's lay the foundation down first. So the foundation is this, y'all. This is the foundation. See, for those that are dealing with this understanding of the 12 tribe chart, so they speak about Second Ezra, okay? Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, okay? So let's listen to their logic, because in their mind state, they believe that they were. Let me get a map real fast so y'all can see their logic. Okay, this is cool. So if you look at this. Now, this is the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, or really Northeastern Africa, okay? So they want us to believe that these big-ass ships went through the marshes of the Euphrates River, which, which is really shallow. You can walk over that. And they went around the southern tip of Africa and went to the mountains of Pontar and what they call in South America. And then from there, they supposed to have spread it out. This is what the One West camps originally teach. Okay. Now, I'm saying these are the ships right here, y'all. They want us to believe that went, through that. That's next to impossible, man. We're going to give the true understanding of this right now, okay? Right now. So let's read in this Apocrypha what's going on. We're in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, okay? We're going to start at verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshua, the king, whom Shemashnassar, the king of Assyria, led away. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my bag. Come on, you can come with Abba. That's okay. Come with me. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Yeah, okay. You can chill with me. Yeah, there you go. Oh no. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. I'm back, y'all. Yeah, he just running this out. Okay, so It says, okay, let me start it over. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hoshua, the king, whom Shemashnassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so they came into another land. But they, meaning the 10 tribes, okay, took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, or the nation, or the other nations, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and he had stood the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ozareth. Now, let's stop. So when you hear what they're saying about this subject matter, it's as if the 10 tribes of Israel as a whole, or the northern kingdom, came to this land where no man ever dwelt, and they called the name Ozareth. This is what they're saying. Now I'm going to show y'all how Jeremiah Judah destroyed this. Hold on. Okay. Boom. So, let's see. Hold on. Approve. No answer from live. Yes. Okay. Stay on, Jeremiah Judah. I see you, Lord. I got you. I'm going to try to, also, after I finish doing what I'm going to do, I'm going to call you in so you can come on and say a few things. But look, let me show you how you crush this bull. So now in 2nd Ezra 13, we just read it. It's telling us that 10 tribes came to this country where no man dwelt by the way of the Euphrates, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set down a foundation. So I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Let's go to one of the books that the One West camps push people to use as a tool to prove that the northern kingdom is Israel when they're not. Here it is right here. The book is called The Hope of Israel. There it is right here. I got the book. I got a copy of it. So this is The Hope of Israel, written by Manasseh ben Israel. This is him right here. This is the man that wrote this. He wrote this in 1652. Okay, so we talking primary sources, right? So I always told you, Jeremiah Judah, the way to defeat your enemy is to use their own material to destroy them. So this is how you deal with the enemy. Okay, the enemy right now is the 12-tribe chart. Why? Because it's causing all these menzur, right? Or menzurs, however you want to pronounce it, in our communities. But watch this, y'all. Okay, on page 6, right? I got it underlined. See, we're going to start it off because remember, we're going to 2nd Ezra's chapter 10. Now, I mean, 2nd Ezra's chapter, 13. Okay, talking about all of the 10 tribes that supposedly come into this strange land or this country where no man dwelt. It is a known fact that the One West camps teach that the so-called Northern Kingdom came over here to the Americas. Now, I got something underlined here. This is one of the books that they use in the One West camps, which is known as the whole, right? So watch this. Listen to what it says, because I'm laying down a foundation. Watch this, y'all. It says, but I haven't curiously examined whatever have hitherto been right upon this subject, do find no opinion more probably So this is all opinionated arguments. This has nothing to do with fact. What are you talking about? They're letting you know from the beginning. See, you got to dissect what people are talking about. Now, watch this. Look, y'all, nor agreeable to reason. So it's not even agreeable. Then that of our Montezurus, who faith that the first inhabitants of America were the 10 tribes of the Israelites. Stop. So this theory that the 10 tribes of Israel came over here is being bungee corded off of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, right? Watch this. I also show as they were not driven out at once from their country, so also were they scattered into driver provinces, into America, into Tartaria, into China, into Media, to the Shabatical River, and into Ethiopia or Ethiopia. Now, at this time that this was written, what is now called Africa at this time was known as Ethiopia. This was written in 1652. So, checkmate. Even within the book that they stand on at these One West camps, and with this book, The Hope of Israel, we got it right here, man. Come on. This was the author. This was written, there it is, in 1652. Here it is right there, them saying that the Israelites was scattered in Ethiopia, but they mean Africa. Because at this time, Africa was known as Ethiopia. That is a fact. So now within your own, so all this that they saying that the 10 tribes only came over here, that's absurd. So let's lay down the foundation. Let's lay down the foundation. Let's go to Zephaniah. Okay, chapter 3. We're going to lay the foundation down to see what is being conveyed, to see where Ozarith really is. Let's deal with primary sources. Jeremiah Judah pointed it out when he used Adad the Danite of the 9th century ACE. That was a primary source right there, an eyewitness. He said that the northern kingdom, or pockets of the northern kingdom, was all throughout Africa and in West Africa and them areas. But we going to find out with Hebrew anthropogenesis, the anthropology of the Israelites scattering and migrating all throughout the continent of Africa. I'm going to show you when it talks about how we would be beyond the rivers of Cush. Beyond the rivers of Cush is West Africa. This is a fact, man. We got to stop playing these games and deal with truth. We got to deal with truth. So let me set a foundation. We are Wayikra, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 33, which reads on this wise: scatter you among the nations, and I will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Devarim, Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the nations, from one end of the earth even into the other. And there thou shalt serve other powers, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So this means that Israel is going to be scattered amongst the nations of the earth. So let's deal with some primary sources to see if this is true or not. Okay, so right here, I have a writing right here known as Black Hebrew Israelites. Here it is right here. Okay, and as you can see, I have an underlining source and point, a reference that I want to use. Okay, So if the Most High said we're going to be scattered amongst all the nations, and the Most High said in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9 and 10, that the supplements of Israel are beyond the rivers of Cush, his supplements and his daughters will give, their sacrifices unto him, Yahweh. That means we talking about West Africa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use sources outside of Israel to prove what I'm saying is true. Because if I just use Israelite sources, y'all going to say, no, watch. Listen, y'all. The history of the black Hebrews in North America is perhaps one of the most important chapters in U.S. history, which has yet to be fully written. The ancestors of African Americans came from West Africa during the era of slavery. That particular region in Africa was once home to a number of black Hebrew tribes that migrated from North and East Africa over many centuries. And speaking of these migrations, Dr. Joseph A.A. Ben Yochanan writes, stop. Now, you have Afrocentric scholars all over the world that praise Dr. Ben, right? Let's hear what Dr. Ben say about this situation, okay? Watch this. He states out of his mouth in North Africa, just before the period of Christianity's legal entry into Rome, due to Constantine the Great's conversion in the 4th century, there were many Hebrew tribes that are of indigenous African so-called Negro origin. These African Hebrews, as all other Romanized Africans of this era, were caught in a rebellion in Cyrene during 115 CE against Roman imperialism and colonialism. This rebellion also marked the beginning of a mass Hebrew migration southward into Sudan or West Africa, along the way of the city of Air, and into the countries of Futa, Julan, and Senegambia, which lie below the parabolic curve of the Niger River's most northern reaches, where the city of Timbuktu, Mali, presently stand. That's in African origins of the major Western religions, written 1970, page 76. So we got Dr. Joseph A.A. Ben Yochanan, the granddaddy of Afrocentric, black conscious, Kemetic thought, saying out of his own mouth that the Israelites migrated from what we know today as northeastern Africa, the so-called Middle East, and into West Africa. And Dr. Ben goes on to relate that the original Hebrew Israelite sovereign migrants from northern and eastern Africa merged with indigenous groups in West Africa and became the Fulani of Futa, Julan, Bornu, Corman, and Lake Chad. They also formed the parent stock groups such as the Ashanti, the Hausa, the Bene Ephraim, and the Bavumebu. All of these groups suffered tremendous population decreases during the years of the Atlantic slave trade, and this was a fact. Now, one of the groups that was mentioned struck my interest. He mentioned Bene Ephraim. So I said, shoot, who is this Bene Ephraim in southern Nigeria? Do we have any information on these people? Do they exist? Because if they exist, then it's basically coinciding with myself, Jeremiah Judah, F.O.P.E., and many Hebrew Israelites been saying for years that the Northern Kingdom migrated into what is known as Northwest Africa. Now remember, we read in the Apocrypha, did we not? This book right here, right? Ezra chapter 13, verse 40 going on down, right? About the 10 tribes of Israel going into a land which they never dwelt. Okay, cool. Check this book out, y'all. Let me show y'all something. Okay? Let's get it. Now, this man right here is from southern Nigeria. This man right here wrote an autobiography about his life and how he got kidnapped by Firestar, being on a Firestar ship that did tires and all that type of stuff. That was dealing with rubber, actually. That was dealing with rubber, and he wound up going to Scotland to learn. A couple people tried to say this story wasn't true, thus. But we do got major imperial data that says different, okay? So, in this chapter right here, page 42, see where it says Black Jews in the Odu Bush? Okay. It was stated inside the Apocrypha that these tribes went to a place where no man never dwelt, right? Okay. Listen, y'all. Listen to this. And Bogola says this. How did Hebrewism / so-called Judaism come into my obscure land in the middle of Africa, far south of Timbuktu, surrounded by heathenism and savagery? In about 20 villages, 2,000 souls, all black, believe they are of Israelite origin and call themselves Bnei Ephraim. Stop. So we just read from Dr. Ben, because remember, I set the foundation. 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Didn't I do that, baby? Mm-hmm. Let the sisters hear you. Didn't I do that, baby?
Yeah.
I set the foundation. The foundation is first, Jeremiah, Judah, beat that debate, hands down. It's no way of getting around it. You can't get around it. There's no way. The imperial, and then they try to say he cut himself because in the beginning of the argument, he was already saying that Israelites came over here. That's not the argument of the flyer. We're saying about the 10 tribes of Israel or the northern kingdom coming over here, which was after 966 BCE, during the 4th year of King Solomon's reign, when he started building the temple and later on made the triple alliance with Hyman, king of Tyre, and Akhenaten. Akhenaten was a contemporary of Solomon, not Moses. Okay, another story, another topic. We have the Davenport Stela. We got the Long Island inscriptions. We got the Los Lonis inscriptions. These were only verifiable artifacts showing that Israelites only had colonies over here because we were navigating by the way of the so-called Phoenician Empire. Remember, Phoenician is a Greek word that means land of the palm trees. Talking about the Lebanon region, there was no such thing literally as a Phoenician people. The Phoenician people consisted of the triple alliance of the Israelites and Hyman, king of Tyre. By the way, when you look up Hyman, a lot of people think he was a Canaanite, but he was an Israelite. Go look it up right there in the book of Chronicles and the book of Kings. You'll see his genealogy. He's through, matter of fact, he's through Naphtali and Zebulun. This is a fact. Yeah, you got robbed. This is a fact. You broke down to Stephen Collins. See, they keep trying to show them artifacts as if this is proof that the natives are Israelites. That's not true. Them artifacts are only proving that we had colonies over here. That's it. And when the Northern Kingdom came out, they were speaking Aramaic. So why you don't see no evolution of the Aramaic language even being spoken over here? They lying. They're lying. Now, I'm not saying that you didn't have Israelites migrate over here to the Americas. What I'm saying is they're lying about the so-called North American, South American, Central American natives being Israelites. Yes, you do have remnants of us in the midst. Why? Because the Most High said he would scatter us amongst all the nations of the earth. Watch this. I'm going to blow their mind, Jeremiah, Judah, with this one. Remember, 2nd Ezra said that they went into a land where no man never dwelt, right? Okay, watch this. Believe that they are of Israelite origin and call themselves Bnei Ephraim. The other natives called them Emo Yo Korom, or the strange people. My people, the children of Ephraim, have part of the Hebrew Torah written in the script of Aramaic. Stop. Man, stop, yo. We're proving it. Why is they script written in Aramaic? Easy, because they are part of the Assyrian captivity. They got it right now. You see what I just did, babe? Mm-hmm. Am I bothering you, baby?
No.
Okay, you see, I'm showing y'all actual, factual, eyewitness account. This is somebody from from their tribe, from southern Nigeria, telling you the oral tradition, how they got there. And they're saying that they have their Hebrew Torah written in the script of Aramaic. Why? Because Ephraim is a part of the northern kingdom. And if they're saying they Ephraim written, naturally they have the script of Aramaic. Come on, man. Come on. This is easy, man. This is like taking penny candy away from a child. Are you crazy, man? Are you crazy? Watch this, y'all. Let me read that again. My people, the children, you think I'm lying? I'll show it to y'all. This ain't nothing I'm making up, bro. This ain't nothing I'm making up. This is nothing that I'm making up. This is a fact, bro. This is a fact. Watch this. Let's get it. Look. Boom. My people, the children of Ephraim, have part of the Hebrew Torah written in the script of Aramaic, brought with them when they came into their country over 1,800 years ago. Our Torah is not written in ink, but burned into parchment by a hot iron. Therefore, no letter can be changed. Damn. Come on, man. What you talking about? If the natives over here are Israelites, why they ain't got nothing in Aramaic if they're part of the northern kingdom? I'm showing you the children of Ephraim are part of the northern kingdom of Israel, why they manuscripts are parched in Aramaic. They still to this day live in southern Nigeria. You can go there right now and see this tribe of people right now. Right now. Right now. Watch this. Our people have 7 rabbis or 7 morim of 7 different families who hold their positions by hereditary. No man may be appointed a rabbi or a moreh. He must be born a rabbi or a moreh. These 7 rabbin or morim are responsible for all moral and spiritual training amongst our people. Spirituality is supreme, for the Bnei Ephraim are very pious. My people observe the biblical law to the letter. We have no compulsory labor. We eat when we are hungry. We sleep when we are sleepy. We rest when we are tired. We pay no rent, no taxes. We buy no clothes because in our land we never wear any. Because they was following the mannerisms of the people that came around them. Watch this, y'all. We have no need for currency, nor for any monetary standards. Our lives are wrapped up in spiritual observances. My people know nothing of the Talmud. Listen, y'all. My people know nothing of the Talmud or about parts of the Bible that follow the Torah, meaning they don't know nothing about what you know as Hanukkah or Purim or any of that. That was, the southern kingdom was doing that because the northern kingdom already scattered. Oh my God. Come on, this is too easy. Ain't this like too sweet from the movie Penitentiary? This is absurd to even argue this. Yeah, you got Rob, Jeremiah, Judah. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, it's gonna get deep. Our festivals are Pesach HaKak Matzah, Shavuot, Yom Teruach, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. We have no need for dietary laws because we never eat flesh and we never have milk. We have no problem about mixing milk and meat together. We eat flesh only during the Pesach HaKak Matzah sacrifice. And even then, only the 7 rabbin or the morim and their families eat it, not the people. Come on, man. They on another, they're showing you the, this is Hebrew alphabet Genesis 101 with the mighty Hebrew. Jeremiah, Judah won that. Yirmiyahu, I love you, brother. You my brother. But as a man, you really should announce that you lost that. You really did. Like, it's so obvious. and so evident and clear that you lost that debate, man. Like, as Israelite brothers, man, we can't rob, steal. That's like breaking the commandment, thou shalt not steal. So if you really know that, when you look at the facts and you see the facts, you have to admit, like, yo, Jeremiah Judah really beat me in that debate, because it's crystal clear. Jeremiah Judah was bringing primary source. In the beginning of the debate, he only brought up the Solomonic alliance with Hyman, king of Tariq, and Akhenaten. It's because, and he, so everybody knows, he didn't use the words Akhenaten. He didn't use that, because some people may have differences of which pharaoh that Solomon, because you remember Solomon married the pharaoh's daughter, but it never mentions the name of the Parah or the Nasut. But through the research, we're saying it's Akhenaten, based on the faulty Egyptian chronology that's been off for 489 years. Okay? And our standpoint is 1 Kings, the 1st chapter, 1 Kings, the 6th chapter, 1 to 4, or is it 2 Kings? Yeah, 1 Kings. And then 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 42, because we know Solomon was born started reigning during the 4th year of his reign, built in the temple 966 BCE. That's 1 Kings, the 6th chapter. 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, verse 42, Solomon died. He reigned for 40 years and he died. So that means that was 930 BCE. So we know the chronology. But people, y'all, watch this. This is how you know they are part of the northern kingdom. They got the evidence. They're proving it. Watch. Watch this. Our people circumcised their boys at the age of 8 days old, carrying it out to the letter, although not the same way as in Palestine today. Right. Our rabbis permit you used to use only their fingernails or teeth for the observances. That's how you know they are part of the northern kingdom. Now, people don't even know why. Like, for instance, you'll see that the so-called rabbis today, they're circumcised and then suck the blood off the child. That's not what they was doing during the Assyrian captivity. What was going on in the Assyrian captivity historically, because we didn't have the proper utensils to circumcise our children, sometimes the women were on their own, or even the men, bite the foreskin off or use their fingernails, because they didn't have anything to keep the covenant of the Most High. And later on, the so-called Jews, they adopted that custom and perverted it. What they did was they took something that wasn't even actually a custom, but we were under duress and we were in captivity, but we were still trying to uphold the laws of the Creator to the best of our ability. Watch this, y'all. Check this out. Our temple is a set apart temple of temples, or the Holy of Holies, not a place to enter, but a sacred place to go into once a year at Yom Kippur, to where the Torah is, right? Drop down, because now I want to get to the migrational patterns, because this is what is important. Listen, y'all. Our Rabbim or our Morim teach us that our people left Judea after the destruction of the temple and came to West Africa. Okay? It is easy to say came to, but consider the difficulties of traveling in those ancient days across water and deserts without good means of transportation. We traveled to Morocco. Y'all got to listen to this. And lived there many generations. Then, because of persecutions, we had to leave instantly without warning, and we lost all that we had acquired during those years: wealth, property, and stock. We crossed from Morocco directly south over the Sahara. Another stupendous undertaking. The story goes that children were born and grew to be men and women and died, and that their children grew up and had children. Before we finished that great journey across the Sahara, south of Morocco, Finally, we reached the famous town of Timbuktu, the oldest city in Africa. It has never been made clear whether we were a great number or whether we had dwindled to just a few families when we reached Timbuktu. But the Rabbim or the Morim say that we are now only a feeble remnant of our people. In Timbuktu, we were not treated badly. But we were not content to live under the rule of desert tribes any longer than was necessary. So we left Timbuktu and started south, leaving the desert behind. After walking 3 days, we came to a place where there was good, pure water. So many of our people had died because of impure water in other places they came to, that when they found pure water in this spot, they gave thanks to Almighty Yah and settled there and cleared the bush, for it was a bush that they had entered, where herbage and vegetation were abound. They cleared that place and made themselves a village. Listen to this, y'all, because this part is very important that's about to come up. Listen. They were surrounded at that time by the bush and its wild beasts, elephants, leopards, lions, monkeys, and reptiles, and horned vipers, and the boa constrictor, and thousands upon thousands of hooked lizards. This was the place we decided to make our home because we were free when we came upon it. The Rabbim or the Morim say that while they were in the desert, large groups of our people who had acted as advanced guards were swallowed by the sand and disappeared, never to be seen again. There was no trade routes on the desert in those days. Those who had to travel had to find their way as best they could. The Rabbim or the Morim say that our people first gave the name to the country where we now live, for at that time there were no inhabitants there. Stop. Okay, let's go to 2nd Ezra real quick. Let's go back there. Let's find this real fast, because that's kind of interesting, right? Because give me some, because I'm holding the baby, y'all. So just give me a moment.
You know what? Is he asleep?
Yeah, he's asleep, baby. You want to get him for me real quick?
Yeah.
So that Rabbi, because I can move better. Go a little more. Okay. Listen to this again, Israel. Watch this, y'all. Okay. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner, okay? Now, watch this. It says, 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwell. Stop. And then right here, it says, the Rabbim or Morim say that our people first gave the name to the country where we now live, for at that time there were no inhabitants there, and we were the only people. Because we found good water there, we called it in the native vernacular Daomi, good water. How this name left our present country and drifted to the coast, I have never found out. But Dahomey is the name of the country on the coast. So these are, look at what I just did. I gave the foundation, 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, right? I gave it, starting at 40, reading down what? To 45, right? And in that, it talks about how the 10 tribes came to this land where nobody dwelt. These people are saying they from the tribe of Ephraim. They live in southern Nigeria. All their manuscripts are parched in Aramaic. The northern kingdom went into the Assyrian captivity. So whoever comes from out of the northern kingdom, they're going to be speaking Aramaic. Right, baby?
Yeah, you're correct. Sorry, baby.
No, it's cool. You see that? So now watch. Let's give some more primary sources. We're not just going to stop right there. We're not just going to just say, watch this. Let's go to the book God, the Black Man in Truth, page 14 by the late Ben Ami. He says, many of the descendants of Abraham followed Moses from Egypt, but some remained in Egypt while others migrated south and westward. Those migrating Hebrews explain why traces of Hebrew culture can be found throughout West, Central, and East Africa. Many scholars believe that the ancestors of the Fulanti, Ashanti, Ewe, Yoruba, Bantu, and other peoples were in fact early Hebrew Israelites. Interesting. Let's deal with, who do I want to deal with? Who do I want to deal with? Okay. Let's go to Rudolph R. Windsor's book, The Valley of the Dry Bones, page 62. States, King John II of Portugal deported many of his Judeans to West Africa, meaning Angola. Man, let's see what Sheikh Anta Diop talking about these days. I think that'll be real good to peep out to see what people like Sheikh Anta Diop is speaking these days, because a lot of people will be like, well, that's just something that y'all making up. Thus. Okay, let's check it out then. Let's go to pre-colonial Black Africa, page 233. Man, I'm using the actual top scholars of Afrocentric Black conscious thought. Okay, so nobody can say that I'm making any of these things up. Okay, so let's go to Sheikh Anta Diop, pre-colonial Black Africa, page 233. Go get it. According to Tariq El-Fattah, an Israelite minority also lived in the bent of the Niger region of Timdorma and had made a speciality of cultivating vegetables watered with fresh well water instead of river water. Yeah. My homie from Chicago, Tashaka said, you didn't rob King. You won off what the debate was supposed to be. Yeah, he won. That's what I say, man. That shouldn't have went down. And I talked personally to Tahaka Bay. I talked to him for like 45 minutes. So the reality is he won. How you doing over there, babe? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just...
Am I bothering you?
No.
I'll lower it a little bit.
No, it's not that at all.
Okay, okay. Yeah, my baby at work right now, so, and then I work swing shift, but I had to get this in, and I know I'll be on here like that. So let's go deeper. Let's go, because what I'm doing is I'm painting and giving a foundation. Remember earlier, right? What did Dr. Yosef A. Ben Yochanan say? Let me rewind that again so you can hear what Dr. Ben said. In North Africa, just before the period of Christianity's legal entry into Rome due to Constantine the Great conversion in the 4th century, there were many Hebrew tribes that are of indigenous African so-called Negro origin. Stop. So from the rip, Dr. Ben is saying that the Hebrews were originally a melanated people, and that they are so-called Negroes. Let's keep going. Watch this. Look what else Dr. Ben said. This ain't nothing that I'm making up. These African Hebrews, or quote-unquote African Jews, as all other Romanized Africans of this era were caught in a rebellion in Cyrene during 115 CE against Roman imperialism and colonialism. This rebellion also marked the beginning of a mass Israelite migration southward into Sudan, because West Africa was known by the Arabs as Sudan. the land of the blacks, man. Listen, this is Dr. Ben. I'm going to your Afrocentric scholars. I'm not using no Israelite, because y'all going to say, here and there I use an Israelite, but mostly I'm going to use strictly Afrocentric and European and non-European scholars to prove the point that I'm saying. Y'all saying that Ozareth is in the Americas. I just showed the tribe of Ephraim right now, remnants of the tribe of Ephraim living in southern Nigeria. They've been there for over 2,000 years, man. And they got their Torah in parch in Aramaic. They're saying they're from the tribe of Ephraim. They come from out of the Syrian captivity. Whatever Israelites coming out of the Syrian captivity, they're going to be speaking Aramaic, right? All right then. So we have right now, you can go to southern Nigeria right now to the Bene Ephraim, right? You can go to them right now, and they got all this in record. It's there right now. To this day, their villages is upholding the Israelite culture over there right now. This ain't got nothing to do with no Europeans, man. Period. Period. Their records are saying when they went there, there was nobody there. Them areas were inhabited by wild beasts, man, and they had to clear the bush, man. It's a fact. Why you think in ancient times you're not hearing nothing about the Fulanti, the Ashanti, the Mandinka, the Dahomey, any of that, because they didn't exist in the time of what you would call as dynastic Kemet, or the Israelite monarch and all that started. That started later when northeastern so-called African tribes were pushing west and amalgamating through diffusionism and mixing to the point they start creating newly found nationalities that didn't exist, like the Ashanti, the Fulani. These are new modern terms. I'm just giving you examples showing that what we know as West Africa today, it wasn't like that 2,000-3,000 years ago, man. It was more wild beasts and all that was living there, man. Let's get it. Watch this. Watch what Dr. Ben said. Watch this. Look, y'all. This rebellion also marked the beginning of a mass Israelite migration southward into Sudan or West Africa, along the way of the city of Air, and into the countries of Futa, Jula, and Senegal, the Senegambia, which lie below the parabolic curve of Niger's river's most northern reaches, where the city of Timbuktu, Mali, presently stands. That's the African origins of major Western religions, page 76. That was written in 1970. They been knew about this stuff, man. Dr. Ben even goes on to relate that black Israelite immigrants from northern and eastern Africa merged with indigenous groups in Western Africa to become the Fulanti of Futa, Jalan, Bornu, Coleman, and Lake Chad. And they also form the parent stock of groups such as the Ashanti, the Husia, the Beni Ephraim. Look, y'all know I ain't lying. It's right there. It's right there. I'm reading it. See, I'm reading it. I'm trying to see if I can clear that up. Hold on. There. Right there. See? There ain't name right there. So ain't nobody lying. It got to read. All right, let's keep going. So, thus far, I'm showing that there's a tribe. Here's the name of the book. Go get it, y'all. Go get the book. Go get the book. Look, man, this is a Ephraimite that lives in southern Nigeria. In southern Nigeria, he wrote this in 1929. And you had Europeans that tried to discredit him, to try to say he was a fraud. But in later writings and development, he was originally from southern Nigeria and got caught up by him and his comrades being on a Firestar boat, and he wound up going to Scotland. Okay, this is out of their mouth, man. Look, they said it, not me. Look, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Look, y'all. We didn't say this was written. I ain't got to lie. Look. Hold on. Let me get that to come up in here. I'm trying to make it like clear so y'all can see it. But it was written in 1930. And that's a fact. I don't know why it's like that, like kind of blurry, man. I really don't like that. Okay. But it's 1930 that it was written. Hold on, let me try this one more time. Because sometimes this joints act funny. It still ain't doing it right, man. I don't know. Whatever. But it was written in 1930, y'all. I get it later. I'll show y'all. Even if I got to inbox it, it don't matter. But it was written in 1930. And this is what they saying out their mouth, man. These guys is crazy. They say nobody ain't never dwell in these areas. I'm going to read it again. Here it is right here. See, I got that thing underlined and everything. I got this thing underlined. It says, the Rabbim or the Morim say that our people first gave the name of the country where we now live. For at that time, there were no inhabitants there. We were the only people. Come on, man. Come on with these games, man. Man, we got eyewitness Ephraimites. Yup. Right. First line, right. Exactly, because you must got the book. Yup. Because he got the book. Right. That brother right there, my homie Shaka O'Kelly in Chicago, he got the book too. He just said it right now. 1930, first line. And that's where it's at. It says originally published in 1930 by Alfred A. Knopf, New York. Reprinted in 1970 by Negro Universities Press, a division of Greenwood Press Incorporated, West Point, Connecticut. SBN 8371-3610-5, printed in the United States of America. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? We got the Apocrypha isn't inaccurate what it's saying. What's inaccurate is how the one West Camps is interpreting it. No, it's talking about that we walked through the Euphrates. We walked over that. It never said nothing about using ships. You can walk over it with a camel through the marsh and go into West Africa in them areas by the way of northeastern Africa and going into West Africa. That's why the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9 and 10 tell you what we're going to be doing, that we're going to be beyond the rivers of Cush. Beyond the rivers of Cush is what? Let's find out. West Africa. Don't lie. Okay? Don't lie. Let's find out. Y'all always try to go to a book to try to discredit. Are we going to use this book right here from Babylon to Timbuktu to try to discredit as if we don't have other books? But guess what, though? Just because y'all like doing that, I'm going to use this book right now just to show beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Because y'all make it seem like everything. With only thing Rudolph R. Windsor did was the same thing that Joseph J. Williams did in Hebrewisms of West Africa. All he did was bring you the argument, and it's up to you to get an understanding. So let's go on page 79 and Black Civilization in Africa from Babylon to Timbuktu. Let's check this out. So look what he says. Check this out. By the time that the prophet Zephaniah, about 630 BCE, Ethiopia and the adjacent lands of Uganda and Kenya were swarming with black Israelites. Zephaniah says, 3:10, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplements, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring my offering. This verse is an indication that the Israelites would be multiplying and marking even converts among the inhabitants beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Watch this. The rivers of Ethiopia connect with the Nile River system in the heart of Ethiopia. The Abarra River extends from the highlands of modern Ethiopia to the Nile. The Blue Nile extends from the direction of Addis Ababa and a northwestern direction towards the Nile. Near Uganda and the northern Congo is the Bahr el Ghazal River. It is 500 miles long in southwest Sudan, formed by the confluence of the Bahr el Arab and the Jura rivers in northwest Upper Nile. It flows east to unite at Lake No with the Bahr el Jabbar and forms the White Nile. These areas are beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Moreover, are there any records or oral traditions of the existence of Israelite tribes deeply beyond the rivers of Ethiopia? We're proving our point. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, let's go deeper. So thus far, right, I got Dr. Ben confessing that there were Israelites that went in West Africa. Sheikh Anti Diop dealing with primary sources, quoting what? Tariq El-Fatah of what? 1652, right? I even went to even some of the books that they tried to use, like Manasseh Israel in the book The Hope of Israel. And didn't he not say that the Israelites were scattered throughout Ethiopia? He said that in 1652. And you note that in 1652, Africa at that time was known as Ethiopia. This is easy. Let's see what Dr. John Henry Clark got to say about this. Notice how I'm using the scholars that they love. Let's see what they say. So I'm going to quote two quotations from Dr. John Henry Clark, right? Let's go to Dr. John Henry Clark in the introduction to Alfred J. Butler's book, The Arab Conquest of Egypt in the Last 30 Years of the Roman Dominion, okay? Listen to what Dr. John Henry Clark said. Roman exploitation, taxation, and ruthlessness caused a lot of the original Africans in North Africa to move further into the body of Africa. The question is often asked, what happened to North Africa's black population? This is part of the answer. So Dr. John Henry Clark, because the question is asked, what happened to the black population of northern or northeastern Africa? He's saying because of Roman taxation and exploitation, it caused a lot of the original people of this region to move further into the body of Africa. Now, he didn't mention the names of these northeastern so-called Africans that went into the body of Africa in this quotation here. But you got to know how to surf to find the truth and put a sock in the mouth of even those that try to bring forth opposition. So let's go to Dr. John Henry Clark's book, Notes for an African World Revolution, Africans at the Crossroads, page 276. Let us see if he exposes who he's talking about in the Arab conquest of Egypt in the last 30 years of the Roman dominion. This is what Dr. John Henry Clark says out of his own mouth. There is a need now to study the migration of the Jews after 70 AD, when the Romans destroyed their temples. Stop. Now remember, in the Arab conquest of Egypt in the last 30 years of the Roman dominion, did not Dr. John Henry Clark say Roman exploitation and taxation and ruthlessness called, let me read it correctly, Roman exploitation, taxation, and ruthlessness caused a lot of the original Africans in North Africa to move further into the body of Africa. Stop. Pause. Notes for African World Revolution, Africans at the Crossroad, page 276. Dr. John Howard Clark says, there is a need now to study the migration of the Jews, which he means Israelites, okay, after 70 AD, when the Romans destroyed their temples and started the dispersal of the Jews of that day. Where indeed did they go? There is some evidence that some of them migrated south into the body of Africa. Stop. Dr. John Henry Clark said Israelites migrated into the heart of Africa. Dr. Ben said it, right? Sheikh Anta Diop said it, right? Rudolph R. Windsor said it, right? Did not this man right here, Manasseh ben Israel, in the book Hope of Israel, this man right here, did he not say it? Huh? Did he say it? Right? And he wrote this in 1652. He said it, right? He said that, am I lying? Let's see if I'm lying. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. It's underlined. I got that joint underlined. Clear as day. Right there. He clearly says, I also show that as they were not drivers out at once from their country, so also they were scattered into drivers of providences into America, into Tartaria, into China, into Media, to the Shabbatical River. Some say that river is what you know in India and different things like that, and into Ethiopia. Now when it's written like that, and this was written when? Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Right, at that, right? But watch this, y'all. It was written in 1652, right? So that means that's changing. And into, watch y'all, Africa. Because at this time, Africa was known as Ethiopia at that time. Later on, it took on the name of just a country. But at one time, the Euro Gentiles, they were calling the whole continent Ethiops or Ethiopia. Come on, man. These guys stand correct, man. These guys stand correct. These guys stand correct. Let's tell the truth about these artifacts that they found. Let's tell the truth about it over here in the Americas, because look, we got it right here. Look, y'all. It's underlined. Israelite colonies in the New World. They trying to make it seem like because they found certain artifacts in the United States of Paleo-Hebrew that this proves that the natives are Israelite. That don't prove that. That only shows, okay, that there were colonies over here. We got the Davenport Stela. This stone is the property of the Putnam Museum in History and Natural Sciences in Davenport, Iowa. The photograph was taken by the museum, is copyrighted by them, and is used by permission. This is in the book Origins and Empire, Ancient Israel by Stephen M. Collins and Stephen A. Collins. And the chapter is called King Solomon's Golden Age and Israel's Empires, right? And it's right here. Boom. Right? Right? Let's break this down what this stuff really mean, man. Let's really get into it. Are the artifacts real? Yeah, they real. But they got to be understood in the context of what's being conveyed. Let's break it down. Watch this. I'm going to break this down so people will get a clear understanding. First of all, there was no such people as Phoenicians. We got to stop that. That's a Greek term talking about the alliance or the land of the palm trees or the alliance that was made through Hyman, king of Tyre and Zidon. Watch this. I'm going to get something for y'all because I'm about to cut this short, y'all. Hold on, I got something for y'all. Let me see if it's close to me. Hold up. That's it. I advise all y'all to get this book right here. Bronze Age Atlantis, the International Nordica Empire of the Sea Peoples, right? Watch this. Remember I was talking about Hyman, king of Tyre, and Let me get it. And remember, I was saying that Hyman was an Israelite. Remember I said that? And remember I said that you can go into the scripture and look this up. All right. So I'm going to get the scripture right now for the people so they can see. Hold on. I'm getting it right now because I underlined it a while ago when I was reading this book. Okay, because I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to show this to y'all when you come into Jamaica. I'm coming, man. I'm coming, bro. A lot of people been asking me to shoot through Jamaica real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me get Hyman, this King of Tyree thing real quick. And y'all going to be like, whoa, that's deep. Hold on, let me get his name. How you doing over there, baby? Oh, she on the phone. All right, hold on. Tell Ima I said bye-bye. Okay. We're going to go to Hyman real quick. Hold on, y'all, because I need for y'all to see this.
Love you.
Like, this ain't no game. This ain't something that's being made up. No, this is facts. Here we go, y'all. Watch this. It's right here. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm about to show y'all something real quick. Watch this. It says this. Okay. I'm gonna jump up here. Historians call the early Israelites in Phoenicia Canaanites. Watch this. Drop down. I'm getting straight to the point. That Dan and Israelites were the progenitors of most of the Phoenicians cannot be admitted to by the majority of historians. We have an example of brother helping brother in 1 Kings 9:26-27. King Solomon equipped a fleet at Zion-Gebar, which is near Elath on the shores of the Red Sea in Edom. For this fleet, Hyman or Tyree sent men of his, experienced sellers, to serve with those of Solomon's services. Watch this, y'all. Roll and others take this to say that Hyman and his Phoenicians, Tariq and Sodom, taught the Israelites how to be seafarers. It is unheard of to believe that the people of Dan, Asher, and Zebulun were in fact the Phoenicians, and therefore brother Israelites to Solomon and his people, conversely, that Solomon's servants themselves, which might very well have included Danite seamen, were equally good at navigation and selling. Why? Because the modern paradigm says that the Israelites didn't know anything about ships or seafaring. This seemingly willful blindness by many historians is what Cyrus Gordon calls collective amnesia. Now here's the key, y'all. Watch this. Yet 1 Kings 10:22 says that King Solomon had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hyman. Once in 3 years come the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. Verse 15. He had of the merchantmen, indicating his own, not somebody's own else, and of, as well as the traffic of the spice merchants. Now, peep this. Check this out, y'all. Okay. Hyman sellers. Okay. What we have is brothers reuniting and serving on equal terms. The ships of Tarshish show a combined navy of both Solomon's and Hyman's experienced sellers. Hyman's sellers being predominantly Dan and the other Israelite Northwest Shemitic tribes. Hyman was the child of the parents from Dan. 2 Chronicles 2:14 and Naphtali. That's what I meant to say. Dan and Naphtali. 1 Kings 7:14. One of the parents of Hiram was from the tribe of Dan, and the other parent was from the tribe of Naphtali. Ew. Ew. So for years, people been running around talking about Hiram. Hiram was a Canaanite. But we see that Hiram's parents were from the tribe of Dan and Naphtali. You can find that in 2 Chronicles 2:14 and the first book of Kings 7:14. Ew. Checkmate. Checkmate. Here's the book right here. Bronze Age Atlantis. A banging book. Banging. I mean, the information goes in. So now, we got people in southern Nigeria right now known as Bene Ephraim that been there for over 2,000 years, 2,000 plus years, came out of this Syrian captivity. They over there still dealing with Aramaic today. All the information is imparted in Aramaic. We using scholars. I done use Dr. Ben. I done use Sheikh Anta Diop. I done use Dr. Walter Beacom. I done use, oh my gosh, man, Dr. John Henry Clark, Stephen N. Collins, Professor Rudolph R. Windsor. I ain't done. I got a little bit more left. Watch this. Watch this. Look, this is a good book to get. Niggas. That's what it's called. Niggas. The true children of Israel. Rest in peace, or rest in completeness to the late Zaquin Ish ben Ephraim, right? Leader of Bene Zaquin. This is a Bene Zaquin publication. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. About to hit him. I'm about to hit him. I'm about to hit him where it hurt. Okay? So now, didn't Dr. Ben just say out of his own mouth, right? Because I want to make sure. Didn't he say that about right here, these African Hebrews, as all other Romanized Africans at this era, were caught in a rebellion in Cyrene during 115, right? Okay. So right here, I got a map, right here, of the Israelites in Africa, right? And guess what? The first thing they show to us, Cyrene. Interesting. It says, the true Israelites were scattered in all directions. The slaves that were brought to America are descendants of those Israelites that were dispersed into Africa many, many years ago, about 2,500 years ago. Watch this. Cyrene, 125 CE, Israelites attempt to establish a Hebrew African empire. Roman suppression forces further Israelite migrations into Africa. Ain't that what Dr. Ben just said? Ain't that what Dr. John Henry Clark just said? Ain't that what Sheikh Anta Diop just said? Ain't that what Professor Rudolph R. Windsor just said? Ain't that what Stephen Collins said? Ain't that what Walter Beacon said? Ain't that what all these scholars said? Here goes Cyrene right here. So we looking for number one, right? So it's right there. So it's right there. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Game over. 2. Elafatim, 600 BCE. Israelites established a garrison. 70 CE. Roman conqueror and enslaved over 1 million Israelites. 2. Elafatim. Elafatim right there. Boom. Watch this, y'all. 3. Taminit, 1492 CE. Arnament Muslim destroy a 1,000-year-old Hebrew settlement. Bang. Right there. Where the Sahara at? Look what I'm doing, y'all. Look how This is too easy, man. This is too easy. I'm off here in 15 minutes. This is too easy. 4. Ethiopia, 955 CE. Menelik, son of Solomon, and the Queen of Sheba, Makeda, established as an Israelite dynasty that lasted almost 3,000 years. Boom. 4. Bang, right there. Come on, man. Come on, we got y'all. Watch this. 5. Uganda, a line of 33 kings tracing their lineage to King David. Ugandan tradition. Now, let's see if we got any information on that right there. Right? Let's see. Let's see if I can find some information on that. Because I heard that before. Let's see if I got it right here. Yeah. Y'all on your own can go to Herman Norton's book, White and Black in East Africa. Page 248, it says, speaking of Uganda, to the west of Lake Victoria and northeast of the Virgin Congo, it has an organized native government with a tradition of 33 kings in a legendary line that traces back to King David. This is what they're saying. Some of the Ugandan people are saying this out of their mouth. What are you talking about? This is easy, man. Uganda, line of 33 kings, right? Tracing. Then the Most High say in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, that he has sent us and our king into a strange land where neither our fathers nor mothers have known, and there we will worship idols, even wood and stone. Come on, man. Let's get it, man. This is too easy. Libya, 640, right? Israelite Queen Dania Kahina organizes an army to defend against Roman and Arab incursions into North Africa. Boom. Right there. Right? This is all historical, right? 7. Kazimi, 1831. Shemitic Africans whose king wears the Mitri head wrap resembling that of the Israelite high priest. Bang. Right there. Boom. Watch this. 8. Marrakech, 1000 CE to 1500 CE. Hebrews allowed to practice the Torah during Islamic period. Boom. There go right there. What you talking about? There wasn't no Israelites. 9. Tangar, 1150 CE. Israelite sanctuary established by Bene Musa, or the sons of Moses. Boom. Right there. Right there. 10. Kamnura, medieval Hebrew state north of the Senegal River. Right? That's 10, right? Here go 10. Boom. Right there. West Africa. Now let's look them up real quick, because that was mentioned. And that's funny that that word was mentioned. Let's see if I can find. Oh, is this it right here? Yup. I think it fell into my lap. Let's see, because I was just reading about them in here. So let's see if I can find them real quick in here. Give me a quick second. Because I see, okay, so it would have to be up this way. Let's see if I can find it. Because I know, as a matter of fact, what I could do is just read briefly. Okay, right. Not that. No. Okay, so what I could read is this. This is cool right here. Yup, I found it. Listen, y'all. Check this out. The Moorish writer Leo Africanus informs us of the past existence of a medieval Hebrew state called Kanormria or Kanormria. This is in the final dispersion of the black Jews of Africa, page 121 of the book Babylon to Timbuktu. You know why they always try to distort the book from Babylon to Timbuktu? Because they don't understand how to use it. They don't know how to use it academically. It's just a point of reference. That's it. That's all it is. Watch this. We just see, ain't this where we reading right now? We're reading about Kanormria, right there, number 10, right? Which is a medieval Hebrew state north of the Senegal River, right? And then when we take number 10, you see it right here, right in West Africa. There go number 10 right there in West Africa. So let's not play these games. Then I'm giving the points of references. Now let me show y'all how to deal with this thing. Look right here. Let me show y'all. See where it says, let me give y'all a brief synopsis. 2. The migration of the Fula or F.O.P.E towards the west. The Carnori called the Fulas Filatas. These Fulas transmigrated the entire Sudan from the Nile to Senegal. The Carnori Jews are now located in the central Sudan, meaning central, when they say central Sudan, because at one time, West Africa was known as Sudan. Okay, and even the whole Africa at one time was known as Sudan too. Okay, watch this. Along trails hundreds of miles north, south, east, and west of Lake Chad, where they migrated from Senegal. Now, notice number 27 right there. That has to be understood. You see number 27 right there? Okay, what does that mean? That means they're going to the back of the book, right? So we see what chapter this is first. So then we'll know where we at, right? See, these guys, you got to actually walk with them. So we're in chapter 6, okay? So that was 27. So if that means I have to go to chapter 6, right? So we at the footnotes, chapter 6, going to 27. Like, you have to really show them this. So he gives you the source, 27, Leo Africanus, or Hassan ibn Muhammad el-Warzan el-Zayati, wrote a book called The History and Description of Africa, 1600. So see, he's giving you the source. Remember, Leo Africanus was an eyewitness. He was an eyewitness. You see what I'm saying? So people would just read Rudolph R. Windsor's statement and they'll see the number there, but they won't go to the footnote in the back to see where he's getting the source from. So that's an eyewitness account. Okay, watch this, y'all. Let's keep going. Watch. Next, Ghana, 11, 300 CE, Hebrew dynasty established by Zael Yemai, lasted about 1,000 years, finally known as the Songhai Empire. So there it is right there, right? Okay, and that would be right there, as you can clearly see, right? Here we go. Last but not least, I think it's the last one. No, it's two more. Lam, 12th century Hebrew kingdom, 200 miles, some say east of Timbuktu. That's Al Edrisi, Idris. Here it is right there. right? Huh? Right? So let's read a little bit about Lam, shall we? Huh? Because I hear people talk. Watch this. This about Lam. I got a little brief right here. Watch this, y'all. It is the conclusion of some scholars that when the Israelite kingdom of Ghana fell, many of the Hebrew tribes established settlements among the African tribes throughout Central and Western Africa. Thus, the Moorish writer Al-Idris of Spain wrote in the early part of the 12th century about the powerful Hebrew colony of Lam. Lam was situated about 200 miles of west of Timbuktu. Some say east of Timbuktu, but I think it's west of Timbuktu, if I'm not mistaken. The Hebrew merchants were then monopolizing the trade that was concentrated at Timbuktu. Lam was entirely Hebrew, and she fought wars to maintain her control for trade. There go Lam right there, man. Niger River, CE, 1850. 7 princes descended from the kings of the ancient Israelites, and that's in the Festici tradition, man. Look at this. Most of the descendants of America's slaves know little or nothing about their Shemitic African ancestry. They believe their non-Hamitic features come from being mixed with Native Americans. Look, these is drawings. Look at this brother with the braids. These were drawings that when the Europeans was coming on their boats, they would have the artists with them. This is drawings of us. Oh, this book is called Niggers, the True Children of Israel. Look, let's go deeper. Watch. Look at our sisters. Look. Boom. These are drawings. Israelites have better hair than Hamitic Africans, and it grows much longer, but Israelite hair will naturally begin to lock at a certain length, approximately 2 inches. Hamites grow little or no facial hair, while Israelites grow a tremendous amount of facial hair. Even some Israelite women are able to grow a mustache and sometimes even a beard. Israelites are forbidden to shave off the hair on their head and face. Refer to Leviticus 19:27. Look at us, man. They drew pictures of us. You can see how we look. Watch this. Let's go. Look at this, y'all. Boom. Look at this. Let's get it. Also, from present-day Angola, these are Shemitic Africans. The Hebrew Israelite slaves brought to America are related to these same people, all being Shemitic Africans. Then you got the Muta Siboko and the women from Kangombe. Both Sungo and Toboko are located in present-day Angola. Early 18th century European explorers into the interior Africa used guides from these Shemitic African people. Because of their Shemitic ancestry, they remain separate from Hamitic Africans. Although these Shemitic Africans control Africa for thousands of years, they are presently losing all their political power. Their decline began approximately 400 years ago with the initiation of the Atlantic slave trade. Come on, man. Come on, this was easy, man. This was like food. Okay? This was real easy to destroy. Let's go even further. We a little bit more. Look, watch this, y'all. Let's hear about, because, from my research, you hear about the so-called Zulus being Israel, right? From the tribe of Zebulun. Different story, a different topic. But let's read the 100 amazing facts on the African presence of the Bible on page 2. It reads, this was Windsor Derrick Publishers Communicators Press Project. It says, the African Edenic tribe of Judah. largest of all of the house of Israel, was the last to be dispersed from the Holy Land in 70 A.D. Judah wandered into Africa for over 1,000 years before most settled on the west coast of Africa, the point from which the great slave trade to the Americas began. The land of the Ashanti in West Africa is one of the most important ancestral homes of the majority of African Americans, right? Watch this, y'all. Let's go into the book Nelson Mandela, The Man in the Movement, page 17, by Mary Benson. Watch this. At home, Nelson Mandela as a child heard of more recent events not taught in history lessons, of how in 1921, General Smuts, the prime minister, had sent an army which massacred 163 men, women, and children at nearby Borhunk in the Eastern Cape. Members of an Israelite sect, they had refused to move from the common ground on which they were camping. Another source on that, right, that we can go to on that, and I got the book, They Chose the Plan of God, page 1, by Robert Egger. He says, on May 24th, 1921, a force of 800 white policemen and army troops gathered at a place called Barnhart, 5 kilometers southwest of Queenstown in the Eastern Cape. The government had instructed them to confront an African prophet, Enoch Gumjomo, and his religious group called the Israelites. When the battle was over, nearly 200 Israelites lay dead and many others wounded. We know this battle as the Barnhart Massacre. What are you talking about, yo? This was in 1921. Anybody that know about Enoch, Prophet Enoch, he was ordained by Bishop C.P. Mason. In 1901, Prophet William S. Crawley, this man right here, let me get it, I got a picture of him right here. Here he is, right here, Prophet William S. Crawley. Right here, the first one. Prophet William S. Crawley is the one that ordained Bishop Mason in 1901 or 01 in South Philadelphia. He went back to South Africa, Bishop Mason, and one of his primary students was Prophet Enoch. At this time, y'all know that, because y'all know that William S. Crawley, he came in he was born in 1847 in Maryland. And in 1896, he opened up the Tabernacle, or the Saints of God in Jesus Christ, the Church of God and the Saints of Jesus Christ, something like that. So they were more like messianic per se. So Prophet Enoch, he broke off and became Torah only. He was strictly Torah centered. You know what I mean? He had little disagreements and broke off and created his own community. And they were strictly upholding the Torah, right? And they still have communities in South Africa to this day on that. Let's go on even further. Let's not just, let's go to Elder Moses Farrar and Ella J. Hughley's A Better Understanding and the Truth About Black Biblical Hebrew Israelites on page 55 and 56. It reads, there are well over 150,000 Israelites throughout the length and breadth of Africa and maybe more. And right now, 40,000 living in Ethiopia, Northeast Africa alone. On Africa's west coast, there are Israelites in Dahomey, Timbuktu, Ghana, Nigeria, Ghanina, etc. In South Africa, there are black Israelite congregations in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Transvaal, Zululand, and in many other areas of the Republic of South Africa. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go to John S. Beatty, African Religions and Philosophy, on page 333. Another community of African Judaism is found in eastern Uganda. Members of this congregation speak of themselves as the Israelites of the tribe of Judah. Come on, man. Let's go into the UNESCO, General History of Africa, Volume 2, Ancient Civilization of Africa, Abridged Edition, page 376. Father Joseph Brennan, in his slim volume, The Hebrew in Madagascar, is convinced that there were not one but two Israelite migrations to Madagascar. He supports his argument with several hundred comparisons between Malaysia and Hebrew words. Come on. Let's go into the Mavi Evening Prayer at Israeli Hebrew Language Daily Newspaper, September 16, 1991. No other Zimbabweans blow the shofar except Zechariah, who is one of the lost tribes of Israel. Tens of thousands of black Israelites were discovered there recently. They are called Lemba, and according to their tradition, they are descendants of Abraham, Moses, and Solomon. Come on, man. You have to go to B'nai Publications. You have to contact Sister Zalima, and you'll be able to get it through her. Okay, I got you. Let's go on. Let's go to the quest for authentic identity in the journey of religious thought, volume 44, number 2, page 335 and 36. Watch this. Black Hebrews. Check this out. The appearance of black Hebrew communities in the United States around the beginning of the 20th century is a partially interesting phenomenon. Already in the early 1900s, black preachers in the United States and in the Caribbean were teaching that the so-called Negroes were actually the lost sheep of Israel. We are not dealing with mere Judaizing or forms of Judeo-Christianity, but with groups who, through their beliefs, practices, and lifestyle, consider themselves to be 100% Hebraic. Come on, man. Come on, man. Watch this. Let's go to Alan H. Garvey's book, The Lost Tribes of Myth, page 246. These facts have a particular significance when the presence of Judaism among African or American Negroes is to be considered. Hundreds of thousands of slaves were brought to America from this Western Africa during the days of the traffic, beginning nearly 400 years ago. How much more of Hebrewism survived among West African Negroes in that earlier time? As persecuted communities, they were rather more in danger than other Negroes of being raided by war parties and sold as slaves. Interesting. It may be considered certain that many partly Judaized Negroes were among the slaves brought to America. How many of them still hold some Israelite customs in their new home is another question. You got to hear what they. All right, let's even go even deeper. Let's go deeper. Let's go to Black Song, The Forge and the Flame, page 31 to 32. John Lavelle Jr. Watch this. If the American white man fancies that he was the first to teach the Bible to his black slave, he is quite mistaken. Mungo Park, as affirmed by Marlon A. Stokely, found that Fatuma, the Kafar schoolmaster, had Arabic versions of the Pentateuch, or the Torah, the Psalm of David, and the book of Isaiah. The unlearned Mandinkas entertained him with stories of Joseph and his brethren, Moses, Solomon, and David. And the reason why they had Arabic versions, because at this time, this is this is during the medieval times, dark age time, from the 5th century ACE or CE to the 15th century CE. And at this time, Arabic was known as the language of diplomacy. So that's why it was in Arabic. Let's keep going. Watch this. They gave out, now listen to this, they gave out the stories as part of their own folklore and were very much surprised to learn that white men had heard of them. If many slaves already knew a great deal of the Bible, the whole pattern of the origin and development of the backgrounds of the spiritual in America will have to be reconsidered. Come on, man. I'm destroying this joint, man. I'm destroying this joint. They don't have no legs to stand. What's up with the book, the mission, the life, reign, and character of Haile Selassie, right? On page 18, which reads, Rastafarians are not fantasizers who consciously reinterpret their subconscious West African cultural religious tenets within their Ethiopian religio-cultural reality. The historical links evident from the conjunctions and data cited above on West Africa's link with dynastic Egypt, Ethiopia, and ancient Israel place the Rastafarian spiritual and secular views within this ancient cultural religious complex. Conceptually, Ashanti and the rest of West Africa represent in the Western Hemisphere archaic but functional religio-cultural patterns deriving from the Old Testament. Come on, man. This is easy. This is easy, man. This ain't nothing. Let's even go deep into certain customs. Because even when you start talking about, Voodoo in Hebrew means like something dark. Go into when Abraham went into a deep sleep. In the 15th chapter of Genesis, the Hebrew word is Voodoo. Watch this. One of the Latin American countries that has felt more strongly the influence of the Yoruba religion has been Brazil, right? That's in African Magic in Latin America, page 137, right? It's known as Santeria, right? As the various African families were scattered throughout the New World by the slave trade, their religious practices were influenced by their new surroundings and the strange languages spoken in the lands of their exile. Each tribe borrowed freely from the customs, ideas, and the religious beliefs of its adopted land. Santeria is a curious mixture of the magic rites of the Yoruba and the traditions of the Catholic Church. Watch this. It says, in spite of the influence of the Catholic Church, Santeria is mostly primitive magic, and its roots are deeply buried in the heart of Africa, the ancestral home of the Yoruba people, right? That's on page 2 and 3. Same book, which is Santeria, African Magic in Latin America. Now, I'm in the same book, right? Page 41. This the twist right here. This the headbanger. It is a tradition among the Santerios or the Santerios to speak to the gods in the Yoruba language. The custom is derived from the belief that words are sources of energy and that the energy accumulates within the repetitive use of certain phrases. In the Israelite doctrine of 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet have great symbolical significance. The most powerful combinations of Hebrew letters are those that make up the names of the Creator and the angelic forces. The spiritual and magical power of these words is believed to be so great that the vocalizing of them can set in motion gigantic vibrationary impulses throughout the entire universe, creating vast changes in the structure of the order of things. Thus, from ancient times to the present, words are power. This is evident. This is evident in Santeria. Okay? This is evident in their own writings. You see certain similarities. And then you also see similarities in the symbols that they use with the yards and all that on there. You see that. How is that? That's something that we have to look at and say, yo, that's not just a coincidence that they have these things. So we have to be mindful of these things. And there's one more thing I want to show y'all. Hold on. Let's see if I have it in my notes, and then I can get out of here. Yep, right here. Walking with the Night, the Afro-Cuban World of Santeria, page 2. Yoruba scholars have advanced diverse ideas as to the origin of the Yorubas, some even suggesting a relationship to Middle Eastern countries. The staff of Orion, a monolith said to be 1,000 years old, that is a symbol of the Yoruba, has the Hebrew letter Yod carved near its pinnacle. So, pinnacle, and it's pinnacle. How is that? How is that? How is the Hebrew letter Yod carved, right? Carved in the Orion monolith staff? How is that? Bro, this is so deep. I know, man. See, that's what I'm saying. They know who to pick and choose, right, baby? Mm-hmm. They know who to pick and choose. But I gotta go, y'all. Spend some time with my Isha because I gotta go to work. Again, y'all, I say Jeremiah Judah won the debate, hands down. You know, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen, scholarship come like that in a long time. I'm proud of Jeremiah Judah. Keep your head up. You won that debate. Is there something that I want to read before I go to leave y'all with? Yeah, that was hard body. That was hard body. You can't. They can't deal with what we talking about. You know what I mean? It's too much. It's too much. These guys, man, what do you say? I'm an inbox you. I need to get some of these books. Yeah, man. And see, and that's what you do. You gotta deal with their scholarship for them to believe what you saying. Because if not, they're like, well, y'all just saying that. Okay, let's go to the late Leon Bennett Jr. Before the Mayflower, A History of Black America, page 80. Let's go to the book Before the Mayflower. The religion taught the slaves was a censored problem which dwelt amongst almost always on the duties of obedience. Few slaves accepted this version of Christianity. Their God was the God who delivered the Israelites. I tell you, man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's that people just don't know how to research. So if you don't know how to research, in your mind, you be thinking, damn, there is no academia scholarship. It's not this, it's not that. There is a religious conspiracy going on. That's what the late Dr. Prince Shaliah called it. He called it the Great International Religious Conspiracy. And that's what's going on right now. Because you had the Crusades, you had the European Crusader transplants, you had, the plots and partitions. You got to understand what we dealing with. The family got to understand what we dealing with. Then the rise of Zionism's role in their political power as Zionists. we gotta understand that there was a war on so-called Black America in an attempt to stop the rise of the coming King of Israel. That's why I say I'll send you and your king into a strange land. In Africa, that's going to be the next battleground. You going to see. Y'all going to see. So, what I'm saying to the family is that the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people do not consider. Isaiah 1:3. I'll leave y'all with that. Start considering. The simple fact is that all these haplotypes and groups, they not our people, man. They not our people, and that's just the bottom line. This is Prince Charlene Dean, Ben Ami Maltazoya, Ben Yasha Allah Sr., the mighty Hebrew. It was definitely an honor to give that information to y'all. You got anything to say, babe, to the sisters?
No.
She said, no. You funny, babe. You know what I mean? I think I said it all, right, babe?
You did, actually.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything more to even be said. You know what I mean? Jeremiah Judah, keep your head up. I love you. This is the mighty Hebrew tribal minister, Prince Charlene Dean. Giving a shout out to all Israel all over the world. Keep your head up. Know that Israelites are rising worldwide. Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalism rising worldwide.